So, and then I also watched Wonder Woman and Soul, and we will talk about those after news.
In the afternoon?
I was going to say, is that like a weird spin on afternoon or no?
Sure, why not?
Luke and I are on the same page tonight. This is
New
happening.
podcast. Afternoons. Afternoons.
That's definitely afternoons.
Afternoons.
Wow. No wonder you want to start a Patreon.
Luke and his OnlyFans account. Oh, Game Lord Master over in the chat. He thinks we're forgetting the most important news of the week.
We haven't even jumped into the news and we already forgot it?
Uh-oh. What is it? Tell us. We'll tell you.
I think I know what it is.
Listen, I don't remember any of the news from the past 2 weeks.
I think, yeah, I knew it. I knew that's what he was going to say.
Ah, yes.
He got his Xbox.
Game Lord Master got his Xbox.
Congrats, man. Still haven't played with you yet, but I'm excited.
Finally not going to be dragged down by his load times.
Yeah, we won't have the slow load times of playing Destiny with Levy. Nope.
Gosh.
For real. Yeah, I never realized it did that until I played by myself. And like, oh man, it slows you down to the slowest person in your party.
Yep.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now that the most important news is out of the way, we can dive into all the other news that took place over the last 2 weeks. Which
it has been a while.
It really wasn't too bad because of the holiday.
There's not a lot of news, but
there is some, though.
There's some things to talk about.
This one I saw today.
Ooh, tell me more.
Sony is developing 7 shows and 3 movies based on Sony video games.
So like Spider-Man video games?
I don't know if those count. I didn't even think about that.
What else is it? What's another Sony video game?
Or Uncharted is one for sure.
Last
of Us is a show.
Yeah.
What else did Naughty Dog do?
What are all the Naughty Dog?
I was gonna say just all the Naughty Dog properties are probably getting things.
The Triangle Orange Man.
God of War.
That's their other game. Crash
Bandicoot.
Mm-hmm. We'd probably get an animated Crash Bandicoot show. That would not surprise me.
I don't know if you could do. Wow, probably. God of War.
A Ratchet and Clank show.
Ratchet and Clank. That could be a thing. Just depends. Yeah, the age range there is.
Yep. God of War definitely will have something at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be fun to speculate.
I can't believe I just blanked on every single video game that Sony's made.
There could be Horizon.
Like I haven't been playing.
Oh, Horizon.
Horizon's one.
Ooh.
That could be a cool show.
Ghost of Tsushima could have one.
I would take the Horizon show over all of the
Anything
other stuff.
else?
Yeah.
I would say that, except Craig Mazin's making The Last of Us, so I'm all on board for that.
I would take Horizon over the Last of Us show. I have the games.
I haven't played the game, so I have zero emotional attachment there.
Yeah, and I just
want that story to be told in movie show form.
I mean, it pretty much is. It's
but
so linear.
But I don't want to buy a $500 console to play it.
We'll buy the $400 one.
Yeah.
Buy the like $200 one. It's on PS4.
I know.
Also true.
I'm at the point where I'm willing to wait for the PS4 digital edition,
PS5 digital edition,
whatever it is.
Okay, Brett, I got you.
In a year.
That's what I'm here for.
Thank you for supporting me.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna get to. By the way.
So lots of things coming from Sony.
Version.
Yeah, lots of things coming from Sony. Any other Sony news?
Yep, I have some.
Stay on brand.
Sony removed Cyberpunk from the PlayStation Store.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
The Cyberpunk launch has not been great.
While we're talking about it, I don't know if you have the story, but they're getting the No Man's Sky treatment. And if you don't remember what that was, No Man's Sky got lawsuits filed against them for basically not showing what they actually were making. Basically falsely advertising.
False advertising.
Their game. And so there's several lawsuits against Cyberpunk and CD Projekt Red. That launch has been atrocious.
And they sold, including refunds, they sold 13 million copies of that game already. It's insane.
That's crazy. They'll be able to pay out pretty much any.
Yeah, they're not worried about any of that stuff.
But yeah, no, that's interesting. I think there's maybe a larger discussion there at some point if we want to talk about especially when you're talking about cross-gen games and the responsibility of a publisher for displaying appropriate, here is this game running on this machine. Because advertising has always been, here's the best looking version of our product, right?
Mm-hmm.
Food advertising, the same. They don't even show the real things. If it's ice cream, it's not actually ice cream that they're showing you in marketing materials.
Well, it's like eggs in commercials.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite. They're very clearly plastic.
They're just plastic.
They're my favorite.
So a lot of
Are they
times-
as fake as the eggs that were in Batman v Superman?
Yes.
That's still like my favorite thing in the movie. It's just like, dude, those aren't fried.
Nice plastic eggs there.
Oh, it cracks me up.
Yeah.
Movies, man, they're crazy.
Go ahead.
So this last week, we got a trailer for a new documentary called "The Beatles Get It Back," being made by
Beatles are back?
Get Back.
I did not see this.
It's being made by Peter Jackson.
Oh.
So
It's like, oh.
I'm out. I'm back in.
So last year, Peter Jackson did a documentary on World War One.
They shall not grow old.
They shall not grow
I
old.
watched that on a plane.
So a lot of interesting decision.
It was free.
Yeah,
Free in-flight entertainment, man.
that's fair. But he's kind of been doing this thing of going back and revisiting the past, doing a documentary, but also revisiting it in color. So he's been collecting all this footage over the years and colorizing it, and it looks pretty cool. I'm not a big Beatles fan, I know, but
I'm not either.
I think this is kind of that.
No comment.
We
We can't go for 3 for 3. And I'm not willing to lie.
I don't know.
Oh shoot, we're recording.
I think this looks interesting simply from a historical perspective, and also I did think Peter Jackson does pretty good work all around on pretty much anything he touches, other than The Hobbit. And The Hobbit, I give him a pass on because that movie was halfway to hell and he drug it back. So yeah,
I like the Hobbit.
Me too. I think Brett kind of does too.
I find
They're like guilty
I find
pleasures.
that, yeah. They're entertaining, but they're a hot mess. They're like that 1,500 calorie hamburger. It's not good for me, and it's gross when I think about it. But it tastes so good that first couple bites.
Our opinions differ when we get to the. It's gross when I think about it. It's great when I think about it. The hamburger.
The hamburger or
Yeah.
the Hobbit? I don't. The Hobbit hamburger? Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Hamburger.
what those trolls are trying to make.
The hamburger bit. We don't need to go down that road.
No, we don't.
before we
What
start.
else? What we got?
So there is a sequel to a movie that I have vowed to not watch again being made. An Exorcist sequel is being developed at Blumhouse.
You all right, kid?
The problem is Blumhouse does pretty good with their horror movies,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna want to watch this.
Does it say who's attached?
I didn't see anything on who's attached to do it, but I know I'm gonna want to watch it, which means I'm gonna have to watch that movie again before I see it.
So
U-Ball and Michael Bay. No.
some other
Please.
interesting Blumhouse news, though, just to kind of piggyback off that, and we can kind of wrap it all together. Scott Derrickson and Robert Cargill
Oh,
signed a first look agreement with Blumhouse. That would be interesting if they were on.
it
I
won't
don't
be them.
it
It's
wouldn't?
David Gordon Green.
Oh,
Is
okay.
in talks. That's who did the Halloween reboot, so I'm not as scared of it anymore. If it was Derrickson and Cargill, I would be horrified to watch that movie. I would literally be scared to even think about watching it. But because it's not them, I'm not as concerned. Okay. Probably gonna have a nightmare tonight. I seriously hate talking about that movie because it just messes
You're
me
the
up
one who
so
brought it up.
I had
For the pod.
Yeah,
Anything
exactly.
for
For
the
the
pod.
pod. For the gram. For all those things that you're supposed to do things for.
Yeah. Luke, you got more news?
I do. There's another trailer. The sequel, long-awaited sequel to Coming to America, it was released this week, and I can't remember when the movie's coming out, but it's going to be on Prime Video.
First, number one, thank you for using the number in your title and not wasting it like Bad Boys. Bad Boys 4. You've said it a lot.
Should have been Bad Boys
4 Life.
Should have been the fourth one. I don't know what you call the third one.
Something else.
Just find something with an E in it and flip it into a 3.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Secondly, I'm excited to watch this.
Me too. Plus, Eddie Murphy's back,
Mm-hmm.
which is super, super nice. He's back like 5 times, at least in the trailer. They're like, and Eddie Murphy, and Eddie Murphy, and Eddie Murphy. Him and Arsenio Hall are playing like 6 different characters, all made up and stuff.
Yeah.
But I thought the trailer was funny, and I'm excited for that.
Yep, good looking trailer for me.
Yep.
Maybe I don't know, I'm not usually into comedies that much, but maybe it's just been that kind of a year.
Look, I'm into any new movie this year, man. It's real life.
I feel you, dude.
I don't hate comedies, it's just...
Yeah.
Flying. It's them.
Trailers just usually are so cherry picky that it's hard to gauge the quality of a
good
comedy on its trailer, in my opinion.
That's fair.
But this one had me excited.
I got one more news story that's not DC related.
Okay. Hit me with it.
There's a game that a lot of people play. It's called Among Us.
Never heard of it.
It's free on mobile, free on PC. It's out on Switch for $5. Because, yep, that's how that works. Among Us is out on Switch now. You can get it in the Nintendo eShop for $5. It'll be on Xbox in 2021.
How fast are they
in
working
Game
on
Pass?
that? Yes.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, because it's on... I think is it already on Game Pass?
It's on Game Pass for PC, yeah.
So, I imagine it'll be on Game Pass.
Cool.
So, that's exciting. It means it's coming to console. I know we've talked about wanting to play it at some point.
Yeah.
So, it's really cool.
I thought about getting it for Switch, and then I saw the Game
I
Pass
did
news,
too.
and
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
I'll save that $5 and I'll just wait. It's
I did
fine.
too. I was like, man, I want to buy this. And then I was like,
I would wait.
yep, we'll wait.
We will. We shall.
All right. Now I have some DC stuff.
I've got one more thing.
Good stuff.
This is old news now, I feel like, because this happened like the day after our episode
last-
2 weeks ago.
The last recording.
We got the resurgence of crazy Tom Cruise.
Oh,
yeah,
that
Oh,
was
yeah.
over this thing.
That's right.
Some of the crew on Mission Impossible 7 decided to not mask up when on set or when they were going out or something, and Tom Cruise really yelled at them. And he did not hold back, and it was recorded, and
Naturally.
honestly, I'm fine with everything he said.
Yeah.
He is the like lead producer of that movie.
It's one of those things where this is obviously not just an actor being entitled. This is someone who is in charge of this production, who also happens to be your star, and is like, we don't mess around.
Yeah. You can find the recording online and on Instagram and on Twitter if you want to go listen to it. It's very colorful. If that disturbs you in any way. But I say props to Tom Cruise for calling that out.
Yeah.
I think that's good.
I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, I know. I said we were chatting about it on Instagram or whatever, and you're like, I love this.
Yeah, absolutely love it.
It's like getting revved up before a football game.
It was.
You played bad in the first half.
It's exactly what it is. That's your halftime freaking meeting, and you've sucked all day long. Your coach comes in and he's like, all right, we're going to stop effing around.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we're going to do, and if you don't like it, you're not going to play. And I was like, yeah, we need more of that. We've gotten too soft. But no, it was a lot of fun to listen to that, honestly. I've listened to it a few times, and I find
Did it pump you up?
A little bit.
I'm ready to go play again.
Not as much as J.J. Watt's
And then you
thing
stretched
yesterday.
your shoulder and you're like,
that was also good.
Yeah, I
That
didn't
was
love it
good.
as much as J.J. Watt's thing yesterday, but I do love it. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
You
All
got
right,
anything
DC
else?
news. No.
All right, so
done.
I'm gonna breeze through these first couple. DC is going to be releasing 2 movies per year on HBO Max. I'm assuming this starts in 2022. Maybe. Well, yeah, it's got to be 2022. The first 2 movies that they've actually talked about were Batgirl and Static Shock. Awesome that Static Shock is still moving forward. Shocker that Batgirl is still being talked about. I thought that movie was dead.
That movie's been in the
It's been in development hell for
queue
a while,
for
yeah.
a while.
Whedon was attached. I doubt he is now.
I doubt that anymore.
Definitely not.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what they do with that. Second news story. Gal Gadot is not involved in the Snyder Cut reshoots. I thought that was interesting. I guess she filmed enough prior that they didn't need to do anything, which makes me feel like she was pretty heavily featured to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
So, cool. It makes me... I'm a little worried about how things are going to flow in that, but we'll see. And then why did I do that? The last thing I have, I typed that because I was quickly typing. Yeah, so in my notes it says Wonder Woman 84 is confirmed to happen.
Yes! It's happening! Yes!
But what I really meant to write is Wonder Woman 3 is moving forward with Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot returning. I've seen some things where people say it's being fast-tracked. I don't know how true that is.
I've seen that a lot of places
Yeah,
too.
so it'll be interesting to see what that means. I think more importantly is that Patty is returning. Gal had expressed interest in coming back, but Patty had kind of been a little apprehensive about maybe doing another movie. I definitely think she wanted to, but she wasn't really sure if she would get the opportunity to. But it sounds like it was successful on HBO Max over the holiday weekend, and they greenlit this movie so quick. I'm sure it was already greenlit before it came out, but this was like further like, okay, yep, we can do this.
Yep. And I'm pretty sure just over the past couple, like at least day or weeks, that they've just kind of been like, oh, I hope we get to make it.
Well, and like I think there's a little bit of that, but also part of me thinks like this is part of them trying to do right by the directors.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Patty's a little upset that they had to release their movie this way. She kind of did like a few weeks ago seem like she was unsure this would happen. And they've already stated like, no, this will get a proper theatrical release.
Mm-hmm.
Like we aren't doing this again. So part of me thinks this is Patty leveraging having to release her movie on a streaming service to getting her third movie made that she wants to make. And I guarantee you she gets the creative liberty she's been wanting for the first 2 anyways.
Yeah. And I know Gal was in one of her interviews, she talked about how she's ready for Wonder Woman to move out of the past and into the present.
Yep.
I think additionally, when you have, like, what was it, 2.5 weeks ago, we got the announcement that she was working on a Star Wars film. At a certain point, directors who haven't signed like exclusive first look deals and are kind of shopping around, they become commodities.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can see Warner Brothers being like, oh, well, maybe we just kind of took advantage of the fact that we had her all to ourselves and she wasn't really doing. We let's get her back. She's if Lucasfilm is interested in her, then we should still be interested in her too.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And I wonder with them, let's assume they are fast tracking it because I've seen it several places. Luke's seen it several places. Have you seen that at all?
Yeah.
That they're fast tracking. Let's assume we kind of joked like, oh, when's that coming? And I was like 2035. Like, if they're fast tracking it, I mean, it could be 2023.
I feel like most movies, at least back in the day, it was every 3 years. Like really with Star Wars and like Indiana Jones or something like that. But like through the 90s or 2000s, it was every 2 years. I feel like you would get a sequel, like in between those Spider-Man movies and the Dark Knight movies were a totally different animal because Nolan was such a stickler with everything. But like I know the prequel, but they were every 2 years.
Yeah.
So it can be done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how quickly did apparently Uncharted? We joke about it a lot, but apparently that movie filmed in like 3 months.
Yeah, and dude, the Spider-Man movies with Tom Holland, they churn those things.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
they do.
Out.
They do.
We're gonna get more Spider-Man, the Homecoming series movies than we are one Black Widow movie.
Yeah. No, so I mean, I think
like in a
this is
span of 10 years.
I think the earliest this will be is 2023, but it's certainly possible. We're talking 2020, like late 2022 is definitely a possibility. I mean, they don't. Never mind. I'm not going to make that joke.
It just
We'll
depends.
talk about it.
It just depends on where they're at in. I think, much like how James Gunn had to be like, one is coming before the other, right? In terms of his relationship with studios.
Oh, with like Suicide Squad and
Patty
Guardians
has
3.
to like, depending on what she's already negotiated with Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Fast track or not, like if she's involved, there will still be like there might be more of a hurry up and wait. Let's like get this script up, like let's get things moving and understand that we're not really shooting this until she's done shooting her Star Wars movie.
Whenever that.
But then she could probably hop pretty quick around from that, because a lot of you can. It's tough. You can do it. It's hard on a person, on a director especially. But you can be in post production on one and production on another. It's a really hard job, but you can do it.
I feel like that's what Taika is kind of doing.
Probably.
Taika moves
with all of his
I
stuff.
think Taika moves a little slower though.
Yeah.
Like,
Ow.
Careful, Tyler. Don't hurt your shoulder.
You're worrying about Taika too much.
I get excited, man.
I know. I do too.
His Christmas post was my favorite.
But yeah, that guy does work on 20 million things at one time. Anyways, are we ready to talk about Wonder Woman 1984?